What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of swing trading, day trading, technical analysis on the NAS100. I hope you guys have had a phenomenal week with your trades. Week just gone, week commencing the 8th, right? I hope you was able to take advantage of some of the setups that appeared. I hope you guys did really well, right? And so with all of that covered, we're going to get straight into first things first. In regards to how this whole video is going to go, is first I'm going to talk about how I navigated the market, and then I'm going to bring in where I think market is going to go. So there's two parts to this, so make sure you stay and watch till the end, right? On the Monday, essentially what I was looking for was I was looking to take a position, and I did, right? But however, I think it was the wrong time for me to make decisions. So I did two trades, one on a Monday, one on a Tuesday, and I lost them both. Both of those trades gone, poof, in the air, right? I lost them. But however, I was able to recover on the Friday, right? Now, the issue that I had with my trades was that the answers to how I needed to trade it was always there in front of me, but I just could not see it because I wasn't looking out for it, right? So, and this is one of the things that I talk about when it actually comes to trading, that you actually need to keep yourself dynamic in terms of how you're actually viewing market direction, what market is doing, etc. Like, it is super important, and it's also super important to be patient, to actually wait for your setups. So on the Monday and the Tuesday, these two rules that I've just mentioned, I didn't follow any of them, hence why I lost both of those trades. On the Friday, because I followed what I was actually looking for, I was able to get a really nice gain out of that, so that was fantastic. Now, I'm going to share with you in this video the concept as to how I did what it is that I did, because I still think that idea is going to be super useful, especially if you're really new to trading and you're trying to figure this whole thing out. Because there is two parts to trading, right? There's two parts to trading, and how they are explained to people getting into the market, in my opinion, I think is incorrect, right? So first, everyone will turn around and say, yeah, you got to get the psychology right. You got to get the psychology right. And my question is, what is the psychology, right? And the psychology to trading, in my opinion, is confidence, right? Once you have that confidence, you don't doubt yourself. A typical example of this is what we do in our everyday lives, right? So for example, you wake up in the morning, you clean yourself up, and you get something to eat. You may not get something to eat, and then you get on with your day. Now, these actions that you take the first thing that you wake up in the morning is done with pure confidence, because you know what it is that you're doing. There isn't even any thinking involved. It's a bit like driving. Once you've been driving for a while, literally it's like there is no thinking in the process, because we have total confidence in what it is that you're doing. That's the same confidence that is needed in trading, but it's described in a way that it's not really easy for people to understand, because they're thinking that you're not supposed to care about what it is that you're doing, and you're not supposed to have any feelings about it. That's completely incorrect. What it is that you're supposed to be so comfortable with what it is that you're doing. It's like second nature. You know, you're able to see what it is that you're doing and how it is that you're doing it, and you have no worries because it works all the time. So there is nothing for you to be worried about. Okay, that's how I understand. Well, that's how I've come to understand the psychology of trading based on the time that I've spent in the market, right? So for example, there's certain things I don't worry about. When I lose, I lose, and when I win, it's fantastic, right? So enough of that rant. We're just going to get straight into exactly what it is I'm talking about, and hopefully, as I'm able to illustrate that on the chart, you're going to understand what it is that I'm trying to say. Okay, so first things first, I'm just going to break down what I did, how I did it, and how it went wrong. Then I'm going to show you what I started to realize around the Thursday of the week, right? And this is where I was like, oh, okay, this is what I need to be doing. So let me just deal with it in this way, and then everything's going to go perfect. So let's get straight into that side of things, right? So first things first, the weekly high and the weekly low of week commencing the 1st of April were not taken out last week, right? So that's this weekly high over here, and that is the low down here, right? They weren't taken out last week, so price stayed in the middle, but it was still a workable situation. And I tried to work with it at the very beginning, and obviously I had a few hiccups here and there. So now I'm going to explain that. So first things first, let's just zoom in real quick, get a nice idea as to exactly what it is I'm talking about. So it's clear that the weekly highs and the weekly lows weren't taken out, but however, I needed to do something. So on the Monday, price was ranging, right? Price was ranging, and what happened was when I got up, I completely misread the entire situation, right? And I started putting sales down here. So I put sales down here, and I had my stop up here. So what happened was I got triggered in on this candle right here, and I was taken out by one of these candles, or the first one up here, right? And then on the Tuesday, I did the same thing again. So I placed a sell down here. Let me use this actually. I placed a sell down here somewhere, and I had my stop a little bit higher, covering these wicks over here, right? That's my stop, and as you can see, price went straight through it and shook me out, right? It didn't even give me a chance to even make profit. Essentially, this is the worst type of setup, right? That this is the thing that actually breaks traders, the worst one, which is you put your sell up here, it goes all the way up and takes out your stop, then it flies all the way back down again. That's what happened, right? So at this point, I knew that obviously I was playing the game with less than half the pieces on the board, and I needed to step away and reassess everything I was doing, how I was doing it, so that I could re-engage again in the market. Okay, I watched price settle at the bottom, okay, indicate it kind of wanted to go down. And reason why I say it indicated it kind of wanted to go down is that I was using this FVG here as an idea as to it might want to kind of fly down, right? It might want to fly down, and you could have taken that FVG and obviously flown down a little bit. You'd have gotten a little bit of profit, but if you wanted more, you would have got taken out, right? So on the Thursday was when I realized we had a bit of a situation here that I should have realized a long time ago, but I hadn't noticed. So for that, I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so what we had here is we had this situation happening, right? So we're going to take it from this level over here, and then we're going to bring it down to about here, right? And then we're going to take it from over here, because that's 2 is a low point, and we're going to bring that down here, right? So now, are you beginning to see what was happening, what I missed in the game, right? So essentially what I was looking at was a distorted type of channel, but it was a channel nonetheless, right? It was a channel nonetheless. So essentially, once I realized this was the actual structure that I was looking at, right, last week just gone, soon as I woke up on the Friday morning and I could see there was a build up here, what I basically did was let me zoom in here. I stuck a sell right down here. So I took a sell on this one right here. So that was this second candle right here. We're just going to zoom in tighter and give you a better explanation as to why I thought this was a safe place. So this candle is the one I took, right? And this is absolutely the exact one I took, right? And as you can see, the low of that consolidation had been taken out clean, right? So where price was actually open below, and I was super confident I was going to get what I was looking for, right? So as price did what it was doing throughout the day, right, naturally I had the opportunity to bring in a trailing stop, and I did. So I brought in a trailing stop about this level over here, somewhere around here. So my trade was secure, so I could just sit in that trade and see if it went to TP. If it didn't, then, and it looked like it was going to come back up again, then essentially I was going to jump out. My TP was set at this level right here, okay, targeting this wick right here. I thought that was the smartest way to kind of lock it in. So we targeted this zone, and what happened was price went all the way to it and took me out nicely. So Friday worked out great. All of the losses that I had experienced on the Monday and on the Tuesday, I gained them all back on the Friday, which was absolutely fantastic. My day ended really, really, really good. Like I fully was impressed with the work that I did for this week, right? So with all of that covered, this now leads to what I was trying to say about keeping yourself dynamic in the market, okay? Because until I actually draw out this situation, which some of you may have seen, some of you would not have seen, okay? This was the current situation that we had going on. This was the situation that we had going on, and it made sense. And it absolutely made sense. And as you can see, it followed it like a playbook. So now that this is now taken out, we've got one of two things that could be taking place next week. One of two things that could be taking place next week, okay? Price could push up from where it is right now back to the upside again, okay? And then maybe come out of this zone. But like I said in the previous video, there's a lot of price building up on this top side. There's a lot of consolidation going on. So we might need to prepare ourselves for the possibility that price could be breaking down. That indication has somewhat been given, okay? It's somewhat been given. And why I say that is we have weekly lows that are being taken out. So we had a weekly low taken out last week, and then we have a new weekly low of the previous week. That's this one over here, okay? We have a new low over here that's been set that is really close to this low over here, all right? And then we have a possibility that price could actually maybe swing all the way back down again. But at the same time, the possibility of price pushing all the way back up, let me just move this out of the way. The possibility of price pushing all the way back up again is also possible. So we need to be mindful of both situations emerging in the market next week. And once again, guys, it is super important, okay, that I am not a financial advisor, all right? I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just sharing with you how I like to navigate the market. Okay, sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. But however, it is super important for you to do your own due diligence and figure this thing out. In a video like mine, as well as all the others that's on YouTube or wherever you may find it, some of it has gems in it, okay? So my intention is to show you pure gems, things that work and things that are working for me, and then obviously you can expand upon that and make it your own, etc, etc, etc. But there are other videos where it might be, I don't know, 5% or 10% good information and the rest is absolutely nonsense, right? Those videos are out there. I'm not gonna lie to you, they're out there, right? That's upon you to use common sense to figure out the noise from the good stuff, right? And it is super important that you do your homework. Like, this stuff is not easy and you're not going to figure it out overnight. I promise you're not going to figure it out overnight, right? And if you're new and you've hit this up and you're straight winning, you need to step back, right? And look at what it is that you're doing and ask yourself this one question. Can you explain how you've gained your wins to a 5-year-old, right? Like someone really young, can you explain it to them and make them understand how you got your wins, right? Because if you can't explain to them how you got your wins, you're just being lucky. And when market turns against you, all the gains you've made, you're going to give it right back to the market. So it's super important, super important, especially when you're winning. Because for those guys that join the market and they start losing, right, it's one of two things. Either you stay on the boat or you get off the boat, right? Either it's for you or it's not for you, right? The ones that stay on the boat begin to figure it out very quickly. The ones that get lucky and start winning straight away, they figure it out later on, but their pain is much greater because they have a lot more on stake. So then they start thinking, oh, it's the market, the broker is doing things. No, nobody's doing anything. You just don't know what you're doing. And it happens to the best of us. This is not me trying to put you down. This is just me telling you what I've experienced in the past as to how I think trading works. So moving forward, enough of that rant, right? Moving forward, the plan for next week is as follows. The same plan we always follow week in, week out. And that plan is we're waiting for a weekly low to be taken out or a weekly high to be taken out. These are the things we're looking for, and I'm now going to point out the levels that are of key interest to me and how I plan to navigate them based on what happens over the course of next week, which will be Monday the 15th of April, right? So let me get rid of all of this noise on here, and then we're going to get about that business of exactly what could be taking place next week. So first we've got the weekly high level, just mark that in, and then we've got the weekly low level, let's just mark that in. Right, and then I don't think this is entirely straight. Okay, it looks about right. I'm gonna assign some nice labels to this. So weekly lows and weekly high, right? And then these are areas of concern, think areas we're very interested in. So the first level, which is the weekly low, is 17884.8, right? So if price goes below that number, what I'll be looking for is how that has been taken out, okay? if there is any momentum in the strength of the candles breaking through that level, which would then let me know if I need to be waiting for a pullback or if I can join it immediately. These are the two things that I'll be waiting for should this condition get met. And on the high side, which is the weekly high, we're looking for 18, or the level is 18354.3, right? Same again, depending on the type of candle, how it pushes through, the strength of that candle, meaning the volatility of that candle, right? Will let me know if I need to join it immediately or if I need to wait for a pullback, right? But either way, once one of these levels is taken out, I know what direction I need to be facing. If I'm entirely not sure how to play, I'll put a wide stop, which is super risky, right? Because it could go wrong. It happens, right? And I'm not going to tell you it's going to work all the time, because I know you can, even if a weekly low is taken out, you can still get screwed. So you got to exercise due diligence if you want to use this type of setup. The setup or the system that I use, weekly highs, weekly lows, it's not for everybody, right? And some people just goes completely over their head. That is not an issue at all. It's just not for you. Indicators could be the way forward for you in regards to how you build up to obviously trading indicator free, right? Which is the best form of trading in my opinion, because it effectively means that you are able to actually fully decipher the candles, the charts, etc., and navigate them properly without any visual aids assisting you, right? But however, we all needed visual aids at some point. Those are the indicators. So if you need an indicator, this is my best recommendation as to how you use an indicator based on what it is that I'm seeing right now. So when market is trending, right? So when market is going up, moving averages are the best indicators to use when markets is going up, based on how I've experienced using them. Hence why I've done backtesting videos with indicators, as well as with the Ikimokos, which are indicators also. All right. And then when market is going sideways, you need an oscillator, because it's going sideways, so it kind of helps you with overbought and oversold as it's moving sideways, so you're better so you're in a better position to obviously navigate those. I don't use any of those, right? Just because I'm at the point now where I think that I can actually trade without using indicators based on what it is that I'm seeing and how I'm seeing it, and I'm able to actually chart out the chart itself, like just showing you what I've just shown you, which is obviously using trend lines. But however, if you need those tools, use those tools, because they will help you. But however, you get to a point where you're like, I might not need these anymore. That's the point that I'm at right now. I don't need them anymore. So I'm not going to talk you against it. I think it's an okay idea to go ahead and use those, right? So with that rant covered, that is what we're going to be looking for next week in regards to what levels are going to be taken out, and then we're going to decide how we're going to move. If it doesn't take any of them out, there's still going to be opportunities in between. So if you get it wrong and you see a clearer level, so you know what you kind of need to look out for, and obviously keeping an eye on how it does, how it actually takes out those levels is also super important as well. All right. So one more thing, okay, to add, and then just going to move forward from that point as well, is that also, speaking of the indicators, etc., that I've just mentioned not too long ago, right at the end of this video, you're going to see 21 videos on backtesting, right? If you're unsure, you're new to this kind of system, okay, then I highly recommend you check out those backtesting videos. There's going to be gems in there that will help you in your journey with trading, okay? It's not the silver bullet. What you're going to see in those backtesting videos were my old strategies I used to use that helped me, okay? But however, I've been able to obviously add in a few gems as to the ones that actually do work, such as the moving average cross, right? And the Ikimokos, supposing to just watching random backtesting, right? So check out those videos, right? And also as well, I highly recommend you check out books, right? You don't have to go buy the books in the description that I've put below, right? But definitely hit up the books. The books have absolute gems in there, and there are things you can watch all the million YouTube videos, right? Yeah, and most people do not talk about the actual information in some of the books that's out there, okay? They keep all of that to the side. So I recommend you hit up those books. It will make watching a channel like mine or others like mine, okay, that are actually trying to show you how they do business in the market, and you can then see what is working, what is not working, etc, etc, etc. So I recommend you do all of these things. I highly recommend you do all of these things. It's only a couple hours, couple minutes out your day, and after that you have that information forever, right? So with all of that covered, my awesome people from all around the world, I want to thank you for coming over to watch another episode of Swing Trading, Day Trading Technical Analysis on the NAS100, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and I wish you all the absolute best on your trade for a week commencing the 15th of April. So until then, this is Pips and Points signing out.